Yo. Welcome into the last regular season edition of ChrisBeCappinn Show, man. Welcome in. We have every team playing in the NBA today. Are the games all meaningful? If you're here, you already know they're not. You absolutely know that they're not. And I want to first apologize. I know I'm a couple minutes late. I actually got hit with I ain't gonna call it an asthma attack, an allergy attack this morning. Kind of slowed me down a lot, man. Had to get myself together before I could get ready for the stream. So we're here now. Let's lock in, see if we can find some money. There's a lot of movement in the markets. I have not bet a game yet, so if you haven't either, but you're in the right place, man. You're in the right place. I'll tell you guys what I'm looking at as far as betting these games for today if I was gonna make a bet. So every team is playing, of course. All the games started either 1 o'clock or 1:10 or 3:40 Eastern Standard Time, and there are a couple meaningful ones. Those are the ones that I've outlined in the description of the video. Well, that we'll go through in the video, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on the other ones as well. A couple of them absolute skips. No, like absolutely nothing I'm gonna be looking at playing in these games. But the ones that are important, we'll talk about. So, real quick recap. On Friday night, we didn't have any NBA yesterday. On Friday night, I made one bet. It was the Warriors. Minus the 11.5 was an easy winner. A couple of the other things we talked about on the short list cash. I know that the Denver Nuggets team total over did not. But that was something I was close to playing. Glad I did not. Washington did stay under 109.5. It actually went up to 110. They only scored 89 points in that game. So would have been a profitable show if you just tailed all three plays, but we just went 1-0, myself and what I sent to the members. So that's that. Let's go through a couple comments and then we'll see what jaXon likes for today. Not going through all of these because it's a lot. I love us. Says, wake that sub. Yeah, what up, Prolific? Says, I learned how to not lose at sports betting by not betting, but I appreciate you. Yeah, that's a sound solution. Prolific. If you don't make the bet, you can't win the bet. You can't lose the bet either, though. What up, Reek? Appreciate you for tapping in. Says good morning. Thank God for another day. Absolutely. G Hurd says started the day with a cup of coffee in the ChrisBeCappinn Show. Let's go. What up, Chad? Appreciate you for tapping in. He says a couple of games that have some meaning. Hopefully the players show up. All I know is Zubac and Khalil Ware should have a huge games today. We'll talk about those games for sure. Danny Sachs says, what's up, Chris? Glad I finally made it back for a show. Feels like forever. Appreciate you, Danny. What up, Joe? Appreciate you for tapping in. What up, Chad? GLB Bet. Steven, good morning. What up, Adam? Clippers plus 3.5. Okay. Chad says, please don't go nuts today, guys. There's no worse day to bet in the NBA. That's a fact. We will talk about it in just a second. Let's see. I do have a Discord group. I haven't actually even been in the Discord group and chilling. Lot going on in my personal life, man. But the show actually brings me some peace, if I'm being honest. What up, Joe Dog? Appreciate you for tapping in. I can't get through all these comments. It's a lot. I do see my guy Justin. What up, Justin? Let's see. What up, bet at your own risk? Let's see. What up, Mark? See some parlays in here. Good morning, TJ. Says hit the like. What up, Smeezy? Brian, good morning, my brother. Says Chris, today we finally find out who the Lakers play in the first round. Let's get it. That's a fact. We shall know who is going to play. What's up, Joe from the Philippines? Appreciate you for tapping in all the way across the pond, I think is what people say. Yeah, let's get to it though. Good morning, Frankie. Appreciate you for tapping in as always as well, bro. Let's jump into it for today. So first up, we'll start off with jaXon. I just had a simple prompt for jaXon this morning. I asked jaXon, what are the best player props to bet in the NBA today? Let me send in another prompt real quick. All right, so jaXon, I'm gonna share a couple with you guys. So first, jaXon likes, I didn't look into any player props. jaXon likes Cade Cunningham over his 25.5 points plus rebounds and assists. Not sure what the minutes are going to be for Cade. They are already locked in. I'm just telling you guys my thought process. It says Cade has hit the over in 100% of his last 10 games. He's averaging 43.6. We'll see what the minutes are for Cade. He does get a Milwaukee team that's resting everybody. Cade is not on the injury report though, so that would kind of make a little bit of sense to play Cade, to think he can go up and over, but you would kind of need to see the minutes for Cade Cunningham, in my opinion here. But 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Super low number for Cade, but it's low for a reason, is what I'll say about Cade. Also, Mikal Bridges up and over his assist prop at 2.5. Says he's hit the over in 100% of his last 10 games, averaging 5.6. Another one I would definitely go through and just kind of make sure. We know if there's a coach that's going to run their players into the ground, it's definitely Tibbs in New York, but you would kind of want to see what Bridges' minutes were set toward, what will be set towards. But I guess he's not on the injury report. At least I don't think he is. Let me just go through and check my notes real quick. Yeah, Bridges is not on the injury report. So jaXon, sounds like jaXon kind of trying to pick the guys out that are potentially going to be playing. And then Jamal Murray up and over his rebound prop at 3.5. Says he's hit the over in 9 of his last 10 games, averaging 4.3. The Rockets are ranked 7th in defense against the point guard position, but Murray has consistently hit the line, should get the 4 rebounds today. And he is listed as probable in that game for today. So, and the Rockets have ruled a lot of players out already as well. So, I mean, the Rockets have. So, we'll talk a little bit more about that. And then last but not least, Scotty Barnes up and over his 3.5 assists. He should be the primary point guard position. I'm just telling you what I think. He should be the primary point guard today, with Quickly already being rolled out. I think RJ's out already as well. So take Scotty Barnes up and over his 3.5 assists. He's averaging, he's hit the line in 9 of his last 10 games, averaging 5.2 assists. And yeah, I think we'll leave it there. As far as totals go, it looks like jaXon likes the over between the Nuggets and the Rockets. Over 233.5. This total is on the move north, open 232. Looks like it's up to 234.5. There is still a 233.5 out there. Just talks about Denver and how they score the basketball, averaging 116 points. Rockets averaging 115, even though they will not be out there. A lot of their players won't be out there today. Denver ranks 20th in defensive efficiency in their last 10 games. Houston's 25th. That's not right. Houston's 25th in defensive efficiency. No way possible. And no way possible is Houston 25th defensively. But that's what jaXon is saying. jaXon likes the over. It says the Nuggets have hit the over 6 of their last 10. Rockets have hit the over 7 of their last 10. Both teams have consistently exceeded the point total. So you got to take these things into consideration. Take all this with a grain of salt, especially on a day like today. But like I said, we'll get into the games. I tried to go through most of these with a fine-tooth comb and find something, but I just haven't bet anything yet. So let's jump into it for today. First game we have up, and there is a link. jaXon still can help you out with playoffs, play-in for NBA, MLB as well. WNBA season starts in a month, I think, a little over a month. So yeah, all that good stuff. Check jaXon out if you have not. There's a 50% discount code in the description of the video. Let's jump into it for today now. So first and foremost, what are we actually doing today? What are we actually doing? Look at the injury report to my right on the screen. This season, everything. This was the additional news. I've never seen anything like this in my life. What are we actually doing in the NBA today, man? You see all the guys that's listed there. You see all the guys listed out. You see all the guys listed questionable. The NBA has outdone itself, in my opinion, with the injury report today. A lot of these teams just kind of, it's 1, 2, 3 Cancun, man. A lot of these teams are 1, 2, 3 Cancun. And so we'll try to carve through the ones that don't make any sense. I'll give you guys a trend that I'm looking at for some overs that we talked about in the last show for some of these games that have super low totals. And then it'll be pretty quick. Like, I'm not going through all these games. But first one up, let's talk about the Magic and the Hawks. These two teams are pretty much already locked in. They will play against each other in the NBA in-season, the play-in tournament on Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Orlando's already laying 5 points in that matchup. So a couple things here. Well, actually just one thing here. We go through the injury report. This is the interesting thing. And Orlando probably is going to rule out their guys, but they haven't done so yet. So Onyeka Okongwu is questionable. Starting with Atlanta, Onyeka Okongwu, Dyson Daniels, and Trae Young, all listed as questionable. Same thing for Karis LeVert and Gorgeous Niang. And then on the Orlando side of things, all of their guys are listed as questionable. They didn't play in that last game either. So if they don't play again, then if they're all listed as questionable, I'm not expecting them to play in this one either. They've already won their division. Like I said, the season is already locked up. Atlanta can't catch anybody. Orlando is going to host that play-in tournament game. So they have their whole start lineup listed as questionable in this one. Paulo, Franz, Wendell Carter Jr., Corey Joseph as well, and KCP all listed as questionable. So the thing that we're looking at here is another over. We just saw Atlanta play. We just saw all Atlanta games go over. We know that already. And the Orlando Magic just played in the over against the fast-paced Indiana Pacers in their last game with their second unit. So it's only over in these games. Remember, it's not going to be a lot of defense being played in this game. I think this one goes well under the total today, but we do need to make sure that those players are not going to be playing. And the total's already moved. They're open 218. It's up to 219 and a half, 219 on most books. I would be looking towards an over in this game. There is the strong trend it's actually applicable in a couple of these games today is since the 2021 season, when teams are playing one of their last two games of the regular season with a total that's below 220, they're 19-9 to the over, 66.7%, 3-1 to the over this season already as well, 75% on a very small sample. So over would be the thought process in this game, not trying to figure out who's going to win. We don't even know, honestly, who's going to play. Like I said, it's at a pick right now. So that's my thought process on this one. Actually, really easy game for me to look at. Let's see if people I'm pretty sure people don't, but let's just see what people are thinking about this one. Yeah, we got one right here as well. His system says keep an eye out for overs today. So since the 2021 season, regular season games and game number equals 82 or greater. So just the last game. A team that's lost their most recent game in the same season. So revenge spot here. I don't even care about the revenge actually, but yeah, it's over. I'm with you, GLB, and this is actually applicable to a couple different games today we'll talk about. Chad says who's going to score for Houston? Cam Whitmore. Cam Whitmore just coming off a 30 ball. And if you know anything about Cam Whitmore, you know he can absolutely score the basketball. And he feels like he needs more minutes and playing time. So, yeah, Cam Whitmore is definitely going to be able to score the basketball today. Let's see. It's really toxic. I love it. I agree with that. I don't see any thoughts on this game. Bet at your own risk says I took the Hawks team total over. They average 124 last five and 111 versus the Magic. Yeah, that all of those numbers could be thrown out the window with a slate like today, though. What's up, now? At least it's been a minute. I hit a 5-leg parlay 2 weeks ago, plus 1055. So I took a break. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Let's see. Anthony Black points for Doggy Bone. Says thinking teams let their bench guys run today. Taking a look at Justin Phillips for the Bulls, Marcus Sasser, Jaime Jaquez, Jarris Walker, and Craig Porter Jr. Yeah, those are some pretty good guys, Doggy Bone. Pretty good guys if we get numbers for all of them. A lot of people talking about the Rockets. I'm not going back up to read the comments in a second, but we will talk about that Rockets game. Just trying to stay in order. All right, next one up. Over in this game or nothing. Mavs and Grizzlies are actually one of the more important games on the slate for today. However, neither team really sees it that way. They both listed a lot of their guys out, but this is a pretty meaningful game. And the only reason I'm talking about it is because the Memphis guys have not been ruled out quite yet. That's the only reason I got this one. They opened as 11.5-point favorites yesterday, all the way down to 5.5, then down to 1.5, and they're still holding on to be a favorite. Jaren Jackson Jr., the whole Memphis Grizzlies roster is listed as doubtful, but they haven't been ruled out yet. So Jaren Jackson Jr., Zach Edey, Desmond Bane, Ja Morant, all Santi Aldama, Luke Kennard, Scottie Pippen Jr., all listed as doubtful. On the Dallas side of things, PJ Washington, Derek Lively, AD all out. Klay Thompson is out as well. So you would think that Memphis would be able to come in here and win this game. Guys like Spencer Dinwiddie's still going to be out there, though. Guys like Jaden Hardy is still going to be out there as well. So they still got some guys that can put the ball in the basket. What I wrote in what I'm looking at as far as like seeding goes, the Grizzlies do have they had a chance to create an even bigger standing mess by beating the Denver Nuggets on Friday. Of course, they lost and didn't cover that game either. So what that means is that the Grizzlies, who they are going to host Dallas, they need help to get out of the eighth spot. Now Memphis cannot escape the play-in. Memphis will be in the play-in, and it's really just going to be, but they can actually move up to 7th if Minnesota loses to the Jazz, which is not going to happen, which is why I think Memphis is probably going to rest all their players in this game. And then they're going to end up either having to go to Golden State, or they're going to have to, or they'll host the Minnesota Timberwolves. So really just kind of, their fate is not really in their hand, which is why I think they kind of pitched this game. And then the same thing for Dallas, which we'll talk about in just a second. So again, Memphis, they cannot escape the play-in. They will be in the play-in. But they can move up to 7th if Minnesota loses. That's not going to happen. So more than likely, they'll be on the road. Why Dallas doesn't care about the game? The Kings, who are battling Dallas for the winner that's going to host the last play-in game between the 9 and 10 seeds. They don't. The Kings don't necessarily. The Kings will win today. Is what I'm saying. They're gonna beat the Phoenix Suns, in my opinion. And then that's why Dallas doesn't really need this game, because even if Dallas wins, they won't. The Kings own the tiebreaker because they've swept them this season. So I think that's why Memphis is probably gonna rest most of their players. I say all that to say this. This is another game where this total will come down if everybody does get ruled out. And this is another game that I will be looking to play over on. It's come down from 236 down to 228.5. I would just continue letting it come down, and I think that these are two fast-paced teams. We know that the Dallas Mavericks without AD, we've seen it a lot this season. They don't play a lot of defense, so I do think that both of these teams will be able to score even without their primary scores being in there. I would be looking towards the over between the Mavs and the Grizzlies game as well. That's my thought process here. Tyler says, I think Max Christie has a good game today. Memphis struggles versus guards. Last few games, Ant just had 44. His 10.5 feels free. Clay isn't playing either. And he had 19 and 17 without Clay as a Mav. I like that, Tyler. I like that a lot. Max Christie. Somebody's going to be able to score. Memphis defense is absolutely atrocious. So I do agree with this look a lot. I'm actually going to write this down. Max Christie. Somebody got to score the basketball. I've seen Max Christie go over his 10.5 points when some of the guys were in. So I like that a lot. I agree with that, Tyler. Ja Morant under rebounds and assists, maybe a look. I don't even think he's going to play. He is doubtful, but I don't think he's going to play. Steven says, I like Dallas for this game. Memphis playing 3rd and 4th, 4th and 6th. Jason Kidd coaching advantage over Grizzlies intern coach. Yeah, but without the troops on the road in a game it feels like they pitching, I can understand you make some valid points, Steven, but I don't know, man. I kind of agree with this comment from Chad. That's why I don't have a bet in yet. Read through that if you can, or if you're interested. Chad says he likes Dallas team. Other Chad says he likes Dallas team total up and over. Jay says I like that as well. Yes, over here. Brian says, "What up, Chris? Profitable season. Gotta run up a playoff bag now." Yeah, absolutely after it. Over in this game or Max Christie. I like the look from Tyler with Max Christie over his points prop, but like I said, you kind of gotta wait on the injury report. Well, you don't have to wait on the injury report. My fault. You don't have to wait on the injury report for the Dallas Mavericks game. Not at all. They've already showed their hand. Only the Memphis Grizzlies have their guys listed as doubtful. All right, next one up. Nuggets and Rockets. This line opened, I want to say you could have got less than 7. I saw 6 last night, I feel like. No, I didn't. I guess I did see 7. I thought I saw 6 with the Nuggets on the road. This line is now up to 8 to 9, and it's been back and forth. It's been, once it got to 8, it went to 8.5, 9, 9.5, back down to 9, down to 8.5, now back up to 9. And the total Is only going up 232 up to 234.5. I think the over makes sense. I like the way that the market is pushing this one. And I would also, I don't know if I want to lay 10 points with the Nuggets on the road, but Houston has pitched this game as well. Houston, for people who don't know, they are locked into the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. Denver kind of controls their own destiny here. They beat the Nuggets. If the Nuggets beat the Rockets today, who are locked into the 2 seed because the Rockets don't have anything to play for, they will end the regular season securing home court advantage in the first round. So if you go through and look at the standings, let's just look at it real quick. The Denver Nuggets come into this game on a 2-game winning streak. They won both games. They won in Sacramento, then they won at home against Memphis on Friday. So they're 2-0 in the David Adelman era. And they are right behind the Lakers. So they can finish in the 4th seed and have home court advantage. If they did, right now they're in 4th. And if they win, then they, out of all the teams that's tied and the game behind and all that good stuff, they would lock in the 4th seed. So do they need to win? Yes. Do I think they take this game serious? Absolutely. Fred VanVleet, we look at the injury report for this game. Fred VanVleet is off the injury report. Sengun looks like he's off the injury report as well. Jabari Smith Jr. is not on the injury report, but Houston really has nothing to play for here. I don't think that they're going to play their guys. And even if they do, I don't think that they're going to play full minutes, but they do have a full squad out there for today. I think it's kind of telling that Denver's laying 9 points and Houston has everybody off the injury report here. So we'll see how that goes. If Houston does play some of their guys, it'll probably only be in the first half, and I'll be probably looking towards Denver in the second half if Houston plays hard early in the game. But this is a game that means a lot, especially for the Denver Nuggets. One of the games that means the most because Denver, of course, would like to host a play-in game. Host a first-round series instead of going on the road. And they can do so with a win here. So, I'm just not thinking that Denver is going to that Houston's going to play their players for the full game, though. That's my thought process on this one. Let's see. Nally says Rockets +9. I love it. Says he took the Nuggets minus whatever number it is that he got. Like I said, it's at 9 right now. 9 seems like a lot, even though Denver should win the game. I don't know if they cover this 9 number, though. And I would agree with the total going over, though. I don't think that neither one of these teams are going to play much defense in this game. I know it's one of the higher totals at 234.5, but I think it's high for a reason. It will be over for me. What up, Zoe? Appreciate you for tapping in, bro. Dougie Bone says Denver second half sounds like a play. Yeah, I would. That's what I would be looking at. I think even if Houston plays their guys, it'll be early. And then I look towards Denver to get the job done late. Denver will want to play this game really, really tough. Chad says he took the Rockets team total over. If their starters are playing in the first half, Denver can't guard a gate. Okay. Bobby says Rockets +9. They'll take the game serious because it's the preview of the potential matchup in a few weeks. I don't think they will. If you email Udoka, you can't leave your guys out here and risk the potential for somebody to get hurt. The Rockets have not finished this high in the Eastern Conference, in the Western Conference, in who knows how long. Even those teams with James Harden on it, I don't think back in the 14, 15, 12, 2012, 13, 14, 15 days, I don't even think those teams were this good. This team is finished number two. I don't think you can screw that up if you email Udoka here. Houston already been resting their guys. Why would you want to play them here in this spot? They rested their last 2 games against the Clippers and the Lakers. Now the most meaningless game of the season? I don't think so. I just can't see the Rockets players playing full minutes in this game. That's my thought process, though. Dougie Bones says, a third quarter spread. Couldn't talk you off that. Mark says Houston first half caught my attention. Maybe. Chad says since Akeem Olajuwon. I just can't see Houston playing their guys full minutes. That's just my thought process. It's nothing that I've read. That's just my thought process. If Denver's losing at the end of the first half, then maybe you take a look towards the Houston team total over. The Denver team total over, or just take Denver against the number, in my opinion here. All right, let's go over to the only game that actually makes that's a couple games that do have some other implications, but this is the one here. And I'm kind of kicking myself because I didn't get on the number. I kind of want to be on Golden State here. This line has moved even since right before I started the show. It opened actually with Golden State laying 4.5. Yesterday midday, I saw that Golden State was laying 4.5. This total was 223.5. I think I saw 223.5. And only thing that we've seen is under money. Pushed this all the way down from 223.5 down to 221, and then all the way down to 219, 217, 216.5. And a large part of that was because Steph Curry is listed as questionable in this game. I think Steph is going to play. If you watch the post-game interview with the Warriors, Steph talked about this game being like a game 7. If you've been paying attention to what Coach Steve Kerr has been saying, he's been saying that, the playoffs have really already started for the Golden State Warriors. One of the reasons why I wanted to be on them in that last game against the Portland Trail Blazers, knowing that they needed to win. So we go through and then here's the reason why the game matters so much. So I'm gonna read this. This comes directly from the ESPN article on the scenarios. So the Clippers need to win and they need Denver to lose in order to finish in 4th. So here's the quote. Here's the quote here. It's a similar path for the Clippers, who won in Sacramento on Friday night to put themselves on the verge of locking in the playoff spot. Unlike Denver, however, the Clippers have a much tougher test ahead in Golden State in this game here. A win for the Clippers plus a Denver loss means that the Clippers will end up in 4th. So stay with me here. Remember, I said if Denver wins, they get home court advantage. They'll finish number 4. If the Clippers win and the Nuggets lose, then the Clippers would actually get 4th. So they do have something to play for here. A win and a Denver win means that the Clippers would face the Nuggets in the first round. So if both teams win, the Warriors lose and the Houston Rockets lose, then the Clippers play the Nuggets in the first round. And a Clippers loss would likely push the Clippers to the play-in. So the Clippers do need this game. Now, as far as the Warriors, same exact thing, right? Golden State, like the Timberwolves, have only themselves to kick for losing that game against the San Antonio Spurs the other day when I think it was on Wednesday when Harrison Barnes hit the game winner. Still with that, though, after beating Portland on Friday, the Warriors enter Sunday needing a win to guarantee a top 6 spot in the West. And I kind of need the Warriors to win this game. That way they don't have to worry about the play-in, because we do have an NBA future on the Warriors to make the playoffs. The win total cashed over, but they really hurt themselves by losing to the Spurs at 17.5-point favorites the other day. That was a terrible loss. So here's the situation for the Warriors. If the Warriors and the Timberwolves win, the Wolves finish in 5th, the Warriors finish in 6th, the Clippers finish in 7th by virtue of the head-to-head record between the 3 teams. So the Warriors win. The Wolves are going to win. They're a 23-point favorite against the Utah Jazz. And the Jazz aren't playing anybody. And the Utah Jazz might as well not even show up to the arena, actually. So the Jazz we can pencil in as a loss, which means the Timberwolves will win. If the Warriors win, then the Wolves finish 5th, the Warriors finish 6th, the 7th. The Clippers have to go to the play-in. Golden State, thanks to the head-to-head tiebreaker over the Memphis Grizzlies, can't finish lower than 7, securing at least a chance to host the first play-in. And that's if they end up winning, because they've smoked Memphis, I think, pretty much every single time this season so far. So it's a lot going on in this game, and this is the most meaningful game. I kind of want to be on the Warriors at the crib. I do think even with this total coming down, I know the Warriors are a really good defensive team. I know the Clippers are a really good defensive team. I kind of still think it can go up and over, though. I don't know if I'm going to get there. Don't know if I'm going to get there. Like I said, I am expecting Steph to play. He is listed on the injury report game time decision. The Clippers will be at full strength outside of Nicholas Batum is out. And I think I saw Amir Coffey coming back in this game as well. So this will be a playoff type atmosphere, maybe a first half under between the Clippers and the Warriors before, the defense, before some adjustments are made and some shots start to fall in the second half. I kind of want to take the Warriors here. This came all the way down to 1, and now it's back up to 4. The Warriors were laying 1 point here. I do think that they're going to get up. I expect Steph to play in this game. I think it could be one of those games that goes down to the buzzer, though. So I don't think I'd be laying the 4.5 here. I think I would be looking at a first half under. And I don't know. I know the Clippers have been hooping. They struggled to close out the Kings the other day. I do think the Warriors are a better team. But the Clippers are balling right now. Clippers are absolutely balling. Don't really want to take anything away from them. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Zoe says, so only teams in the West have something to play for today. Absolutely. Absolutely. The Eastern Conference is all locked up. All locked up is the Eastern Conference. Everybody knows who they're gonna play. Let's see. Chaz has clipped won all 3 matchups this season. Granted, that was before Jimmy came to Golden State, but Curry hurt his thumb. Clippers gonna smoke him. He did hurt his thumb. Doggy Bone says Clippers cover under Jimmy points, under Steph points. He hurt that right thumb last game. A lot of people talk about that. Justin says he likes under 218.5. The number has went against him. It's back up to 220.5. I kind of want to see first half under. I kind of want to play first half under here. I think we see a lot of defense early in the game. I don't know. Sometimes my unders get smoked in the second half. I think this is a first half under spot. I really, really do. The only game we have that's really a true meaningful game on the slate for today, where both teams are going to be playing for something. Let's see. So this is 107.5 is the number. 107.5 between the Clippers and the Warriors in the first half. That is. Let's see. PZ said, "What up, PZ? Appreciate you for tapping in." Allie says she liked the Clippers and knowing Powell over his points. I kind of feel this way too, Steven. I don't know if they're gonna cover though. I don't get it twisted. I don't think I would lay the points here. I know the Warriors are capable, but I think the Clippers. If this game was at home, I'd probably be taking the Clippers. I do think the Clippers, and I would definitely be on the under. The Clippers are, for whatever reason, it's harder for them to cover on the road. Like we've seen this all season, right? The Clippers are not the same team on the road that they have been at home, and they barely beat the Kings the other day. Like they barely beat the Kings. They beat the Kings by 1 point. They had everybody in that game. Zubac ended up playing. I didn't even stay up for the game, but Zubac ended up playing. I went back and watched it, but Zubac ended up playing. Noam Powell was on the injury report. They both played. They won that game by 1 point against the Kings. You beat the Kings by 1? Ugh, it's gross, man. It is gross. Let me double check some stuff real quick. Yeah, you beat the Kings by 101 to 100. I know the Kings ain't on the same level as the Warriors. Yeah, I think first half under makes a lot of sense. Dante says, I don't see Golden State losing at home today. I don't see it either. Mark says he put a small play on Clippers plus the 4. Probably my only NBA bet today. Let's see. Where's the line going? I think it's still moving towards Golden State. Yeah, 4. It looks like is the number right now. Brian says first half for the Clippers. Full game plus the 3 as well. Clippers going to cover. Going to be close, he thinks. Chad says, who's going to stop Zubac? Quentin Post? Draymond down there, man. Best of luck to you as well, Chad. Best of luck, bro. What up, Fred? Says, what's good, Chris? A lot of situations today. I got your future on Golden State. I think it's Minnesota versus Memphis for the play-in. Yeah, that Minnesota gonna smoke Memphis. In my opinion, if the playoff going like that. Alex says Clippers terrible road team. They have been better after the All-Star break. The Clippers have, but yeah, I don't know, man. To your point real quick, let's just look at that. So Clippers, they started the season off really shaky, but a lot of those games were without Kawhi Leonard on the road. So on the road this season in 19-21 straight up, 17-21-1 against the number. They had covered 6 games in a row. Well, 6 games in a row they had covered before they didn't cover against the Kings in that last game. So on the full season, 19-21 straight up, 17-21-1 against the number. If we look at them after the All-Star break specifically, 7-8 straight up, 6-9 against the number. They're just not a good road team. I would like the Clippers a lot more at home. I think the Warriors have actually been better on the road too, though. So I don't know. It is kind of toss-up-y type game, though. I agree with that. What up, 5150 Braun? Zubac over his boards for Aaron. Marquis says he took the Clippers on the money line. Warriors team total under. So a lot of people like the Clippers today. Feels like. James says Clippers are a perfect matchup for the Warriors. Brian says, I can tell you're focused today. Cap and playoffs should be lovely for us. God bless you and your family. Happy belated season. Appreciate you, Brian. And a shout out to everybody who wished my son a happy birthday, man. He had an amazing birthday. He was hyped, man. I got a chance to go eat lunch with him. It was a surprise. He didn't even know about it. Just walked in on him. He was like, "Oh, Dad, what are you doing here?" He was shocked. Total utter disbelief, man. He was happy. He was a happy camper. Took him some chicken wings. Boy loved chicken. He had a really good day, man. Really good day. We went out to eat for dinner. He had a great day. So appreciate you guys. Much love for all the birthday love for my son, who turned 7 on Thursday. Let's see. Nicholas says there should be defense for sure. I agree with that. Loves Kawhi, Chad says. Yeah, just talked about that, Alex. You got some numbers to back it for sure. You are right. Clippers have not been as good on the road. And it's a divisional game too. So what are the Clippers in the division on the road? They are 4-4 straight up, 2-5 against the spread, 6-1 to the under. 6-1 to the under are the Clippers in divisional games on the road. Games are averaging 215 points, man. That's pretty telling. Pretty telling here for sure. So yeah, under. I think I like that first half under a lot though. But first half under or first half under, I guess, make the most sense. Warriors at home versus division, 5-2 to the over though. They also 1-6 against the spread. The Warriors haven't been covering at home against their division either. Only cover they got actually came against the Kings when they blew them out by 26 points on March the 13th. They also, like I said, 5-2 to the over, so you don't like that as much if you like an under. Let's see what else I got. There's a lot of comments here. Let's see. Guys, Honest Truth says Kings are no slouch. They've been playing good basketball with the big three. I agree. I do agree, guys. Honest Truth. Which is why I haven't faded them. Which is why I have not faded them yet. Let's see. Yeah, you're right, James. You are right. You are right here. I think Golden State had kind of taken their foot off the gas, though, which is why you saw them bounce back in such a big game in that last one. Both of these teams are going to be focused and locked in, which is why it makes them such a good game. Brian says, when against the Lakers, Golden State might get the call from the league once that first round matchup between Golden State and the Lakers. I honestly, I think I'd rather play the Clippers in the first round than the Warriors. But I've been thinking about that a lot, man. I can't wait to do the NBA preview shows. Let's just leave it at that. All right. What up, Lingowick? Appreciate you for the belated birthday love for my young man as well. Dante says he likes first half under. I think I'm gonna play that first half under. It does, John, but I don't think it's necessarily the ramifications of what we typically see. I don't think it's those. So those games typically go over because there's not a lot of defense being played. I do think we see some defense in this game. This game means a lot, and the total is coming down now, back down to 219.5. I think so. And you got the early matinee start time too, right? Typically those games go under. So yeah, I think I want to go play under right now, matter of fact, before the number starts to move too much against me. First half, let's see if I can still get that half a point. It was 107.5 on, I think it might have been Caesars. Yeah, Caesars got a minus 110 right now on the first half, 107.5. BetMGM does too, though. It's a lot of 107.5, 107.5, honestly. I'll probably play on Bet365 though. I like Bet365. Bet365. I'm gonna lock this in. It's gonna be the play that I'm gonna make. First half under between the Warriors and the Clippers. And I could be wrong. We'll see. I'm going first half under though. Under 107.5. Put a half unit on it. Half unit on the first half under 107.5. And I need to send this out as well. All right, that's that game. I think let's go through the rest of them real quick because I know, that's the only game that I really want. Those are the only games I really want to talk about. Let's go through the other games real quick. So a couple different things here. As far as the other games go, and if you've been watching this show, you know I'm not somebody who just plays anything. So these are, backed by a couple trends. So let's go through the next one. So we got the Washington Wizards. Let's start at the top. We got the Wizards and the Miami Heat. This line open, it looks like 9.5 in favor of Miami. It's come down to 8. Miami has ruled everybody out. The Wizards also ruled everybody out. No Middleton, no Jordan Poole. On the Miami Heat side, of course, they've locked into the play-in seed as well. So they will be without Wiggins, Hero, Bam, all listed out. So the Heat are in an interesting position. Nothing to play for in the standings as far as moving out of the 10th spot, giving them every reason to lose to the Wizards and ensure that they stay in the 11th in the lottery spot. Washington, however, is also incentivized to lock in its own draft losing position. So it's interesting though, because the Heat are incentivized to lose the game. I don't think that they're going to lose, but they are incentivized to lose. They will still have some NBA players out there, even though they will be without their starters. I think Howard Haysmith is still listed in. It looks like Kami Hakes Jr., Duncan Robinson, Khalil Ware should absolutely go crazy, like somebody pointed him out in the chat. That makes a ton of sense as well. I think this game goes up and over the total. Open 214. It looks like it's up to 215.5. I do think that this game's going to be played with a lot of pace. It also fits that over system that we talked about. Just one team playing one of their last 2 games of the season when the total's below 220. Like I said, 19-9 to the over. That's about 67%. 3-1 to the over this season. We're going to see this game played fast paced. I will be playing over here. New York and Brooklyn. That's another one that fits this system because this total is 213. So I'll probably be looking towards the over. OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, Karl-Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, all listed as questionable. No Cam Johnson, no D'Lo. Those guys are listed as out. I think I saw Zaire Williams on the report as well. So this will also be an over. Just the total is too low. 213 is too low. It's already started to trickle up to 214. So both of these first 2 games I will be looking at over. Detroit and Milwaukee. This is the first round matchup between the 2 teams. Milwaukee has ruled everybody out. There's no Cade. I'm sorry. Milwaukee has ruled everybody out. There's no Giannis. He's doubtful. Zach Lopez is out. Brook Lopez is out. Bobby Portis is out. KPJ is listed as doubtful. Taurean Prince is doubtful as well. I think Kuzma is going to play. Isaiah Stewart's out. Asir Thompson is out. Cade is listed as probable. And I think that's why this line has moved in favor of Detroit. Probably still wouldn't lay the points. Probably looking at a Detroit team total up and over. I don't think this game is going to be played slow, and I don't think neither team is going to play much defense. So I'll be looking at the Detroit team total up and over in this spot if I'm playing. Indiana and Cleveland, that's the ugliest game on the board. The Cleveland Cavaliers have ruled out all their starters and all their bench players. So their whole starting lineup, Mobley, Garland, Mitchell, is out. They've also, I think Jared Allen may play a couple minutes, but DeAndre Hunter, Ty Jerome, Sam Merrill, Isaac Okoro, and Dean Wade are all out. And the Pacers probably still won't cover. We just saw the Pacers give up like 100. I think the Magic might have scored more points with their second unit than we've ever seen in an NBA game before against this same Indiana defense the other day. Indiana already ruled out Siakam, Tyrese Halliburton. I think Nembhard is in, but this is another game that I'll be only looking towards the over on. I think this game goes up and over the total as well. And both teams should be able to score in this matchup, in my opinion. I'll be looking at over. Chicago, Philly, another game, only looking towards the over. This total has moved 3.5 points though. So I don't know if I'll play this one. Open 232.5 is up to 235.5. Yabusele is questionable. No Oubre. Quentin Grimes is questionable. Giddey is out. Lonzo is out. Dalen Terry is listed as probable. Philly has nothing to play for. Chicago has nothing to play for. Probably be played with a lot of pace. I would be looking at the over in that game if I was playing that one. We talked about Orlando and Atlanta. Charlotte and Boston. Boston's ruled everybody out already. Also, there's no Drew Holiday, no Derek White, no Porzingis, no Tatum. Josh Green and Mark Williams are both listed as out. Boston just beat Charlotte by 120 points in their last game, it feels like. And they did it all in the second half. But this is a pretty big number, being that all their players are going to be ruled out, which is why I think the number has come down from 12.5, 13 to 11. I just don't want anything to do with Charlotte, especially without Mark Williams. They've also ruled out Bridges as well. So this is the game that, I don't know, it's a little scary to take an over on, being that Boston's going to be without, a lot of their guys. But Peyton Pritchard probably scores 30 points if he really wants to. So that's my thought process there. Toronto and San Antonio, I didn't even look into that one, if I'm being honest. Toronto, San Antonio, not a game I'm interested in at all. San Antonio has ruled out Devin Vassell and Jeremy Sohan. Jakob Poeltl, Quickly, and RJ Barrett are all ruled out on the Toronto side. Not touching that game. Dallas and Memphis, we talked about. Phoenix and San Antonio and Sacramento, just not laying this big of a number with Sacramento. Devin Booker is out, though. Nick Richards is out. Bradley Beal is out. Of course, no Kevin Durant. We've probably seen the last of, these three guys playing together in Phoenix. So I know that this is what I found when I was looking into the research here. Only 18 teams in the history of the Give Me the Dog database have been laying 15 points or more in the final game of the season. They're 12-5-1 against the spread. So they have covered. These teams that lay in these big numbers have covered. The spot says to take Sacramento. I just can't lay 16 with Sacramento. I know Phoenix has been absolutely atrocious. I can't lay 15.5, and it opened at 9.5 too. So you would be getting the worst of the number. So that's my thought process on that game. We went over Denver and Houston, Utah, Minnesota. I just can't even get to anything in that game. Minnesota does not have anybody listed in though, and Utah has listed everybody out. This line has moved from 20.5 to, I think I saw 19.5 to 23.5 now. Total at 232.5. Maybe a look towards Minnesota to be able to score the basketball. They should be able to score at will against Utah. Utah will probably play fast and no defense. Just a game that I'm not that really interested in. Utah has nothing to play for. Minnesota does need to win, but they don't need to win by 25. Can they win by 25? Should they win by 25? Yes, but we've seen them play with their food a lot too many times for me to even be considering them in this spot here. And then OKC and New Orleans, I think is we still got the Laker game. OKC and New Orleans, this total has moved north, and that's the way that I would play it. OKC, even though they've ruled everybody out, there's no Isaiah Hartenstein, no Dort, no Chet, no Jalen Williams, Shea, like their whole starting lineup is out. They've also ruled out Caruso. They've ruled out Casey Wallace. New Orleans will be super depleted in this game as well. Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk is out. Jordan Hawkins is out. No Misi. So yeah, this game is the game that I think the Pelicans probably really struggle to score. So whatever, OKC can still score the basketball. We saw that when they played against Utah the other day. I said that I would lay the points with them against Utah the other day. I didn't do so, but they won that game relatively easy. I think that the Pelicans struggle to score the same way that we like Washington to not score in that last game. I think the Pelicans team total under in this spot would probably be the most advantageous thing to bet. They just don't have a lot of NBA scores out there. So the Pelicans team total under would be something that I would, maybe put a few dollars on, not even close to, maybe even a half unit, honestly. But that's the way that I would play this one. I just don't think the Pelicans are going to be able to score the basketball. They don't have a lot of NBA players. So Pelicans team total under. And then last but not least is the Lakers game versus the Portland Trail Blazers. The Lakers have ruled everybody out as well. Jackson Hayes is questionable, but no Rui. Braun is out. Luka is out. Austin Reeves is out. And then on the Portland side, they've kind of thrown in the towel as well. I think that's why their spread has moved from 3 to 6. Denny Avdia is doubtful. He didn't play in that last game, I don't think, against the Warriors. Jeremy Grant's out. Anthony Simons is out. Dorian Finney-Smith is out. Scoot Henderson is out. I think Vanderbilt is questionable. Gabe Vincent is questionable. We'll see if those guys play. This is another game where I'll probably be looking towards an over. This one fits that same system, right? Since 2021, when teams are playing one of their last 2 games of the regular season, the total is below 220. Those games are 19-9 to the over, 3-1 to the over this season. I think that we see more than 218 points scored. Probably a fast-paced game. Not a lot of defense being played. Just really Portland trying to get to Cancun as quickly as possible. The Lakers, I think they'll leave enough out there to win the game. But I do think it'll be played with pace and enough pace to see this game go up and over the total. So that's my thought process on this one. Let's see. Not going back through all these comments. I don't think that the Pistons are going to play their full starters, though, Captain Mutombo. That's my thought process. Best of luck, Mark. Appreciate you for tapping in as always. Just take it light, everyone. I agree with that. I think the Kings can cover. I'm not sure if they're going to. I feel like the Suns backup guys play a lot more defense than the Suns starters. Devin Booker and Bradley Beal and Ty Jones, they don't play a lot of defense. Those, when you get the secondary guys in, those guys are more defensive guys in my opinion. So I'm not sure if they cover it, but I don't think they're gonna be able to score. I'll say that. Khalil Ware gonna foul out, I think is what Chaz said. Or gonna go off. Yeah, I would think Khalil Ware should absolutely have a field day in this game. I'm interested to see what his numbers are. Let's see. Chaz says, do you think the full game goes over in the last two games, Chris, or just the Miami and Knicks team total over? I don't know if I trust Washington and Brooklyn to score. Yeah, I think that they should be able to score just because of the pace. Brooklyn is playing against the Knicks, and that total is just too low. You need teams to get to 107. In today's NBA, everybody's getting to 107. I know Brooklyn sucks, but I think the game will be played fast. Nobody will want to get hurt. It'll be like this is the YMCA day at the NBA, or the NBA season for sure. What up, Bitsy? Appreciate you for tapping in. Billy, appreciate you for tapping in as well. Thank you for the B-Day wishes for my son. Appreciate that. Yeah. All right. We've done way too much. We've talked way too much about meaningless basketball. Just giving you guys my thoughts as always. If you're still watching, man, do me a favor, hit the like button. Run them likes up, man. Especially for a Sunday show with these type of games. All right, so let's get into a quick recap of the things that I just talked about. Let's go over to that recap. So Golden State, I did bet this on the show. Clippers, Golden State, I bet first half under 107.5. Only thing that I put my hard-earned money on today. Honorable mention plays would be, as we already saw in the comment section, just going through the games real quick. Khalil Ware, whatever you can get Khalil Ware, his numbers should be absolutely crazy today, as long as Spoelstra doesn't do anything too crazy with his minutes. I would be betting on Khalil Ware, some shape, form, points plus rebounds, something with Khalil Ware in it. I also think that Washington and Miami game goes up and over the low total of 215.5. So over 215 and over 215, you can get 215 right now. New York and Brooklyn, that'd be a game I probably skip. Detroit, Milwaukee, game I probably skip. Indiana and Cleveland, game I probably skip. If I'm not playing the overs. Chicago, Philly, game I probably skip, especially with the total going up. Orlando and Atlanta, game I probably skip. Orlando and Atlanta over, though, if I'm playing. Charlotte, Boston, definitely a game I skip. Toronto, San Antonio, skip. Dallas, Memphis, skip or over. Phoenix, Sacramento, skip. Denver, Houston. We talked about liking Denver, Denver late if Houston has that game close. So I would be potentially looking towards a Denver number in the second half live if Houston plays their full guys in the first half. I'm not thinking Houston's going to play them for the second half, but we shall see. Utah, Minnesota. Probably a Utah team total under or a Minnesota team total over, which really just equals the spread. OKC and New Orleans, I would be playing New Orleans team total under. I know Houston, Minnesota. I know OKC has their guys all on the injury report, but the Pelicans team total is probably still too high in my opinion. The Pelicans team total is, let's see real quick what it is, 110.5. So 110.5. Real quick on that Pelicans team total. They're averaging 108 points since the All-Star break. They scored 104 against the Heat. They did get to 114 against the Nets. The Lakers, they scored 108. The Clippers, they scored 98. The Hornets, they scored 98. The Warriors, they scored 95. So that's a clear indication of a team that's going to struggle to score the basketball. I do think that they continue to struggle to score the basketball. I think 111 is too many points. So I'll be looking at a Pelicans team total under in that game. And then the only other game we got left is Lakers and Portland. I would be looking at over in that game. And then we bet the Clippers in the Warriors game. I took the first half under 107. Only thing that I've officially played. And that's the show. That is the show, the resources as we get into the playoffs. So there's no NBA tomorrow, but we do have the play-in games. We'll have 2 on Tuesday. Atlanta, Orlando already locked in. And then we'll have 2 on Wednesday as well. So you can use jaXon to check those ones out already. Outlier as well, Money Baller, Odds Jam, all of those things will be super helpful for your handicapping process. Also, a lot of these are co-sports as well. So you can use these to, like jaXon, Outlier, Money Baller, all have, different sports as well. So you can utilize them for, MLB and WNBA when that comes around. So just check them out if you're interested, man. And that'll be the show. We'll be back on maybe tomorrow, honestly. I may do a show tomorrow to talk about to get ahead for the play-in games, Atlanta, Orlando, and then whoever we'll have in the Western Conference as well. So look out for a show tomorrow, maybe a evening show tomorrow, where we'll go through some, kind of deep dives since we only got 2 games, and we can look at player props and sides and totals and all that good stuff as well. So that'll be the show for today, man. Enjoy your Sunday. Best of luck on whatever it is that you get to the window with. I hope you guys cash it and enjoy the day. I'll catch you guys maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Come on.